All right, how's it going, guys? How's it going? Oof. Sorry if I'm a little bit slow at the start. I did just make lunch. Apologies, but mm. I think we're gonna run more story today. Now that we finally got our level up. Oh, never mind. Game says nah. We'll try this again. Hopefully there aren't any issues going on. There we go. All right. Actually, we should start with our class quest and then go to the quest line. Ooh. Class quest first. Ooh. An AoE. Done temple training later. Now I speak of our ultimate goal of spreading knowledge of the Charlene School of Astrology throughout the Holy See. As you know, the Vault recently turned down my request to allow Lady Leveva to speak before them. But I'm not one to be turned away so easily. No, I have a plan. I will entreat Chief Astrologian Forlamore to draw up an official recommendation. The Vault now so quickly dismissed the words of a man of such standing. Yes, yes, I know mine uncle loathes me with a passion rarely seen even in young lovers. There's really no reason why he would aid our cause, being a staunch opponent of change and all. That does not mean we cannot try. And if we fail, well then we can try again, and again, and again, until he is so annoyed that he writes us the recommendation, simply to see us out of his thinning hair. By we, I mean you. Considering how red the chief astrologian became last time I visited him, I reasoned it would be detrimental to my uncle's health should I arrive at his place of research, and we most certainly would not want him to fall ill or collapse before he's penned us that recommendation. Okay then. Off we go. I'm sure these guys don't mind a person riding a dragon through here. Who do I see disturbing me this fine evening but Janicard's new manservant? I suppose you came here for this. Janicard never ceases to amaze, does he? Not only does the lout have the nerve to ask me for aid, but then he refuses to do me the common courtesy of accepting that aid in person. Even the entitled little shite, more worried about his popularity amongst the fair sex than how his actions disgrace his family name. Ah, the slack jaw. I suppose you're wondering why in the world I, of all people, would agree to such nonsense. Well, it is simple. Allowing the heathen astrologian to dig her own grave in front of the entire vault and the Ishgardian astrologian community will only serve to accomplish what I wished from the very start. Charlene, astrology has no place in Ishgard. It has no place in Eorzea. It has no place in this world. It is dangerous and serves no purpose but to take our eyes off of what is truly important, using astrology to free us from the dragon menace and ensure man's return to Helen's kingdom. Leveva's dithering will only make that much clearer. In Janicard, perhaps this will finally spell his downfall. He's only been allowed to continue this nonsense because he is harmless. Too caught up in the luxury of being in the line to Count de Durande's title to actually put forth any real effort in furthering his cause. Charlene astrology is but an oddity which he can boast about at balls to get him in bed with the slatternly maids of lower houses. His father has protected him this far, but allowing him and this lady to speak, there will be no brushing under the rug of the shame this brings forth. Janicard will be finished. Oof. And if it doesn't go that way, what then, sir? Follow me right away once Chief Astrologian Forlama has denied my request for a letter of recommendation. So might be getting work on our next request. Is this? Cannot be, it is! Seals Forlamorts, what did he say? No wait, mayhap's better that I do not know. Well, this changes everything. I have to arrange another meeting with the vault. Summon the cardinals to Durandare Manor. We'll need wine and spare a stuffed pheasant and pheasant stuffed goose and goose stuffed Jacobo and it's a whole trope. Not to eat, of course. No, I fear I will no longer be able to join you on Lady Leveva's next opening of the gates. Do give her my regards, though, when you see her in Mordona. Oof. But once we were not the bandits' targets. Came across this young woman as she was being dragged into the hills. Though we drove her abductors away, I suspect they've already mustered the courage for a second attack. It's a good thing you and Jan... It's a good thing to see you arrived when you did. The girl claims she was a student at the Athenaeum and recently overheard Jane Quinard's mention we would be conducting another gate opening in Mordona. She journeyed here on her own in hopes of having a chance to witness your astromancy firsthand. I say we give her something to remember. You have my apologies, Lady Leveva. I did not think. Your fault. Your only fault was an insatiable thirst for knowledge. A realm where one must apologize for being a victim is no realm worth living in. Why would those men attack me? I believe it is now quite obvious that these bandits were not meant for you, but for me. It seemed that certain parties fear the spread of Charlene astrology and will stop at naught to prevent it. My Charlene constellation chart. Bandits must have been torn when they seized me. Here, you may take mine. I have the stars committed to memory. I don't know how I'll ever be able to, but I will think of something. Just you wait. I will repay this kindness tenfold. Lady Leveva, you mentioned something about certain parties wanting to prevent the spread of Charlene astrology. Have you any idea who they might be? I do, but I shall require more proof before I can be certain. You and Pika should be able to assist me with that. However, as they say, first things first, we have a gate open. There, the ewer. Focus, Pika. Focus on the constellation's aether twine with your own. It is said through the fifth heaven flows a mighty river carrying the waters spilled forth from the scholar's vessel. And in that water is the strength of all that have come before and all who will follow. Dew spun from Nimia's loom, dew from which might and metal it's weaved. And now the power of the ewer is yours, and forever shall it point you to victory. While I cannot forgive our patron for skipping yet another of his lessons, I cannot deny that the passion hidden deep beneath all his posturing may have its uses. Word of our field is spreading, and our inherent nature has begun to stir. Curiosity is proving better motivated than skepticism and faith. Our time may come soon. Alright. Do not tell me Lady Leveva was attacked again. I knew it, and without a reading, my talents grow by the day. What is this you claim? A fellow astrologian was moved by my words and went to witness the unlocking. That is amazing. I wonder who it could be, though. I would certainly recall speaking in detail with the young, suppler mind. I must find this woman and hold another, special lesson with her. Lesson? Oh, that reminds me. Lady Leveva asked me to teach you a new technique before you head to open the fifth gate, which you have already gone and done. Appears you were able to overcome your ordeal without it. Yes, exactly according to my lesson plan. You still wish me to teach you the technique? Very well then, though I do not really see the point. Oh. Lady Laveva tells me that you are nearly ready to open the sixth and final gate. Yes, I said final. We all know there are 7 heavens, but opening the 7th is impossible. Well, except upon death, of course. An attempt to attune to the pole star would be sheer madness and most certainly spell your doom. But look at me. Even now, attempting to tutor the great Pico, when it is obvious your talent far surpasses mine. Forgive me. Lady Laveva has yet to depart for the location of the final gate. Doubtless she fears yet another bandit attack, but whatever the reason, she remains on the 2nd floor and has asked you visit her at your earliest convenience. You have come far since that fateful day up as first cross and black shroud. And now, here we are, on the cusp of your attunement with the 6th heaven. Time truly waits for no man, does it? Before we set forth on this task, I wish to teach you a technique known as synastry. By temporarily enjoining your fate with that of your companions, they will reap the star's benefits as do you. As a passable journeyman astrologian, you already wield sufficient control over Aether. You need only focus it upon establishing a bond with your chosen ally to achieve synastry. So I'll put that there. So we'll put this here. Actually, we can put this up here. Because we only really need to use it once. I believe you already do tune with the final constellation. Location of the next lesson is actually not far. Assume your travels have taken you to Camp Dragonhead? Excellent. I, as always, will go ahead and make my final readings. If each of our previous outings are any indication, the bandits which harry us will most certainly jump at this opportunity. So I'd have Quimperane scout the area ahead of time, and report any suspicious activity to the knights garrisoned at the camp. Let somebody else bloody their hands for a change, I say. Feel free to tell Jeniquinard our plans, though I do not doubt he already has some of his own. Lady Laveva has already departed. Well then she must have leaped from the window, for I did not see her use the front door. I dare say that means we will be traveling alone, Of course I will be attending, why wouldn't I be? Ika and Jeniquinard. Well then, it appears giving my constellation map to the Astrologian in Rathfrost was unwise, as my readings for the location of the 6th heaven have proven slightly off. However, a second calculation has shown that we are close. The optimal location lies just to the north of here in a derelict tower known as the Steel Vigil. You've the look of the learned about you. Might I ask if you've seen this star map before? It was on the person of an Astrologian who came to us seeking help after being attacked. That is my map, the one I gifted the Astrologian in Rathfrost. Do you mean tell me she was set up again? Your map? Well, I'm gonna have to ask you to accompany me for questioning. The Ashlogian claims she wrested this chart from one of her assailants before escaping their grasp. Lady Leveva, why would you assault the self-same woman you risk your life saving? Because she did not, my lord. Why would you even think something so foolish? This must be some sort of misunderstanding. I was present at the assault. We saved the young maid of which you speak from a party of bandits, and Lady Leveva gave her own constellation map to replace the one damaged by her assailants. My Lord Pika here was also witness to these proceedings. Well, we have our own witnesses who say otherwise, so until we can have a trial with an adjudicator who can pass his judgment, this Leveva will have to come in for questioning, for she herself has admitted the map is hers. It's alright, I have not to hide, and arguing here will not bring us any closer to the truth. If anything, I wish to confront this woman who would bring false accusations against those who saved her life. Very well then, take me where you will. I shall answer all of your questions, and you will soon learn who is spouting falsehoods. My friends, you need not worry over much, for I shall be in the company of the Temple Knights, where no harm might befall me. I will return once I have proven my innocence. No harm, quotha. That knight was the selfsame Astrologian who we saved, and Mordona, the Astrologian who now claims we attacked her. Are you saying the Astrologian was a temple knight? No, listen, my lord. I'm saying the Astrologian is no more an Astrologian than she is a knight. I'm saying we've been played. We've fallen victim to a ruse that's landed Lady Leveva in the hands of those who've been attempting to kill her since she set foot in Eorzea. And you are saying she won't be safe in the presence of those temple knights. Those weren't temple knights, my lord. However, they were wearing the colors of our knights most heavenly. If we were to assault them this near the heavenly garrison camp Dragonhead, we would be struck full of arrows before anyone asked us why we even drew our blades. No, we must shadow Lady Leveva's capturers and wait for an opportunity to take her back. How exciting. Can I take point? No, of course not. Just as I expected, these fools have led me straight to the answer I've sought since my arrival in the backwoods realm. If I'm not mistaken, my trusted companions should be arriving right about... Now, I'll be taking this. The moment you lift off in that airship, the whole land will know you are not true temple knights, and you will be made to answer for your crimes. Once we're in the air, it'll not matter what anyone knows, you fool. We will not be returning once we have slain you and your friends. No one shall stand in the way of my fate, especially not some dog's body of the form. Of course, I knew the Temple Knights were false. I recognized the astrologian we almost saved almost immediately. I find it insulting that they believed I would not. I also knew that they would lead me to the true perpetrators if I played along, fully aware that you loyal three would follow. And I'm pleased that you also knew that we would somehow crawl our way out of that little tussle with our lives, because I was uncertain for most of the journey. Well, I was certain Pika would make it, for the stars have already told me he would unlock the sixth gate here at the Steel Vigil, the very location we ended up at. Despite our unexpected ordeal, you have fate, Jiniquinard. Well, I never bothered reading it, for I thought that you had skipped the lesson like you have every other one. Pika, gaze upon the night sky and open your soul to the final constellation, the Spear. Spear is the gate to the sixth heaven, where the Fury resides in a palace of ice carved by her own spear. Ice formed of moonbeams collected by the lover Menfina. Spear fills us not only with the power to overcome our enemies, but also the compassion that is necessary to grant those same enemies mercy. And now that power is yours, to see directed to those whose fates require it. It is done. You have attuned yourself for the six lower heavens, and now that you know their strength, the true journey begins. You have my congratulations, Pika. What has taken me more than 15 summers to accomplish, you have done, and more in a matter of moons. But our time together has taught me that, despite what we may believe they are, we all have our roles. Each role is just as important as the other. Without taking both Quimperane and you under my wing, you would have never saved Leveva from her assailant. Being in a way, I saved Lady Leveva. Not that I am one to take all the credit for such heroism. Nor shall I take credit for this missive that never would have been discovered were it not for me taking you and Quimperane under my... Ah, the cold stare. It befits this godforsaken place. Point taken. Let us break the seal and see what why, this handwriting. I've seen it many a time before. It is mine uncle's. What that it'd mean the highest-ranking astrologian in all of Ishgard has been attempting to assassinate us. If the tribunal were to hear of this, he would be hanged. And a hanging will only earn us another ill-tempered orthodox astrologian unwilling to open his eyes to the benefits of our discipline. No, we can use this missive to our advantage. As long as this remains in our hands, so too does the chief astrologian. Are you saying that we use this missive to blackmail Forlamort? I am saying we merely grant the chief astrologian his life in exchange for a little assistance in furthering our just and noble cause. No more, no less. I see. You are quite devilit, my dear. Very well, I will summon mine uncle to the astroscope. There we can present him with our offer. Hey, Core, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. How's it going? How's it going? Doing good, doing good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Hey, thank you for the raid. Holy cow. Holy cow. Very much appreciate it. Jesus. Thank you, thank you. How's it going, everybody? How's it going, everybody? Hey, you boy. Yeah, we're at the beginning of the Heavens Award storyline. I'm currently finishing my astrologian quests now that I'm level 50 in them to be able to continue. All sneaky, like very sneaky. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Uh. I've been pronouncing it many different ways. Astrologian, astrologian, astrologian. The game never pronounces it for me, so I just pronounce it however I feel like. Astrologian. uh, why must you insist on pestering me, Jeanne Quinard? I gave you your letter, now leave me be. Ah, but that would not be the only letter you've written lately, would it? Perhaps you recall a certain letter to the form. Loved Heaven's Word. Too bad I don't remember half of it. Honestly, I just hate the snow, man. Too much snow. A letter carried by a party of less than savory characters who attempted to kidnap Lady Leveva and deliver her to Charlane's. Not to mention kill me, my manservant, and my good friend Pika here, who you may have forgotten is currently an honored guest of House Fortemps. A letter drawn up and signed by none other than you, Nuncle. Oh, but do not presume to misunderstand us. We wish neither your disgrace nor your death, at least not at our hands. In fact, we wish very little from you. Not, you might say, since that you are to never again use your influence to hamper our efforts at spreading Charlane astrology here in Ishgard. Involve yourself no more in the affairs of me or my guests, and your secret remains safe. I will even forgive you for trying to have me murdered, if, that is, you give me your word. It's not as if you left me with much choice. You have my word, but know that silencing me will not make your nonsense any more accepted in the vault. There are others who will see you fall, others who care little whether or not I speak my piece. We are fully aware of the peaks we have left to scale. I'm slowly going through the story on stream. It's fun to play it again on a fresh character. This is my first time going through it, and yeah, no, I'm having a blast. However, we shall not let that discourage us. I have been shown a path that I altogether plan on walking, and the stars shall guide my way. Stars foretell many things, my dear, and not even the best reader can see them all. Do not forget this. So we have silenced him, but to hear him tell it, he was the least of our worries. Honestly, so glad for you that you made it through the slog that is A Realm Reborn. Even with the updates, they made it still the slowest. I actually enjoyed A Realm Reborn, though. Like, I enjoyed the story and everything. The only time I got frustrated was when I was forced to go do the Crystal Tower. And that, like, just drug me out of the way. And on top of that, the Crystal Tower's side quest line was, like, very annoying. Honestly, I skipped most of it, even though I heard it's really good and it's kind of important, but... It was a good story, it's just a lot of back and forth. Like, they were like, hey, we need these 4 things, but we're gonna split them up in 2 groups and have you go grab 2 at a time and bring them back. Like, why can't I just go grab all 4 of them and then bring it back? And then immediately after that, they're like, oh, hey, we also need these 4 things for those 4 things. But we're also going to split those up into 2 groups and have you grab them 2 at a time. And it's like, ugh. I love the Crystal Tower, and yes, it's important and required to do Shadow Burst. There's still more. Do I just keep doing the Astrologian quests? Astrologian quests? Astrologian quests? It is kind of silly. There's way too much running back and forth and to the same rate. Yeah, it was very annoying. Now that Forlamont has so graciously agreed to discontinuing his meddling in our affairs, I believe we may find our peers and colleagues more receptive to our proposal. It's always been the biggest issue with the Realm Reborn, but Heavensward and the others, there isn't as much. That's good. Perhaps I shall begin with another trip to the vault to inquire about them reconsidering my petition to grant Lady Leveva the opportunity to speak with the Conclave. We all have our strengths, Jeannequinade, and none will deny yours as convincingly, seemingly sane people to do your bidding. Pika here's a testament to that. I look forward to hearing your progress. I'm glad you're enjoying the game. Anywho, gonna go have some food. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. I appreciate it. As for myself, there are still some questions I need answered. The first being, how exactly did Forlamort come in contact with the Charlayan assassins? Moraine, attend me. I wish to visit Foundation and learn if there have been any sightings of suspicious foreigners. I'd suggest that Pika do the same here at the Observatorium. Perhaps a second call on a new ally will help mine uncle recall aught he may have pretermitted in the heat of a previous moment. Seven hells I rue the day I ever see another Charlayan. Please, I've done all you've asked. What more do you want from me? Blood? Or simply here to boast? Perhaps you wish to know how the Charlayans came to be involved in my scheme. Ha! I thought as much. If it was so important, why didn't your Lady Leveva ask me earlier? Read is so far in the stars, she fails to see what unfolds around her on the ground. Truth is, it was never my scheme in the first place. It was the Charlayans. They came to me not long after Professor Mace's ship was diverted to Thanalan. Yes, I said diverted. The pirates in the Strait of Murlthor, the magically manipulated storms off the Rotano, all were staged to prevent your friends from ever arriving. But when they did, the Charlayans were forced to change their plans. They required help hiring local hands discreetly, something they could not do as foreigners. I agreed to lend them my aid because I felt we both stood to benefit from the disappearance of Jeannequinade and that foul chit. Chief Astrologian, there's rarely a day he isn't meeting with visitors from across the realm and beyond. By this past moon, he has been entertaining guests with very distinct markings on their face. I asked Lord Forlamont whence they hailed, and he only answered, the north. Charlayans came to him. That could only mean, then, that mine uncle was only a pawn in a much larger game. A game that began long before we ever became involved. Think back, Pika. The bandits in the Black Shroud, and those pirates you described that attacked you at Limsa Luminsa. They all had strange facial markings, as did our false astrologian. It is not much, but perhaps Lady Leveva will be able to make more sense out of it all. Despite the time that we spent together, I have a feeling she has yet to be completely honest with us. Ah, but look at me. A beloved relative tries to have me killed, the next day I begin doubting everyone. What a sad state of sad state of affairs. Perhaps to clear my head, I should call on that fine young Viscountess visiting House Halenart from her family's stead in the Eastern Highlands. This information on Fullermont's associates should be relayed to Lady Laveva immediately. Would you be so kind? I seem to recall them saying that they'd be questioning Highborn and the Pillars. My lord, were you able to learn anything of import at the observatorium? Lady Forlamort was not the one to hire the Charlayans. Lady Laveva wants to know. Lady Laveva? Lady Laveva, she was right here. We must find her. I should not think any harm could come to her here in the center of the Holy See. But then again, that is what we believed back at Camp Dragonhead. I shall search the Hoplon. Might I ask you to search in the opposite direction near the last vigil? I'm sorry, I think you've mistaken me for someone else. Pika, when you were speaking with Quimperain, someone approached me from behind and placed a dagger to my back. I had no choice but to be led silently away. Luckily, my assailant let down his guard when we arrived in the shadows, and I was able to deliver him a swift kick to the groin. I've been running ever since. So Forlamort wasn't the architect of this scheme to drag me back to Charlene after all. I had my suspicions. I was a fool to believe they would simply let me leave. Do you recall when I mentioned there were people in the old world intent on hoarding our nation's knowledge? Well, it appears that my efforts to train you in Geniquinard have attracted their ire. Pika, allow me to apologize. I have not been wholly frank with you about my reason for visiting Eorzea. The truth is, I came here because of my father. My father dreamed of rekindling the Holy See's interest in Charlayan astrology, believing that would be of great benefit to the embattled people of Ishgard. He came here several moons after I was born, intending to remain for only a season. However, he never made the return journey. His dream was left unrealized, and his newborn daughter left without a father. Never once did I meet him, but every night when I look to the stars, I know that those are the same skies he too gazed upon. The same skies he used as his strength and guide. It is only natural that I follow in his footsteps, in spite of the objections from my mother, who did not wish to see her only daughter lost as well. And here I am in Eorzea, almost 2 decades later, pursuing a dream my father never lived to realize. A dream that has become my own. Now someone is trying to stop me. Well, just let him try, I say. Just let him try. Lady Laveva, a maiden of your beauty, should not wander off without an escort. Monsters hide even in the shadows of the pillars. Maiden, flattery will earn you nothing, Geniquinard, but I will accept it nonetheless. Tell me, what did the vault say to our proposal? They accepted it. We have been given official permission by the Holy See to conduct our symposium on the wonders of Charlayan astrology, with you as our guest speaker. Now come, we must hurry back to the Thanem and begin preparations. More than 15 summers to make ready for this moment, and now I only have a matter of days. Pika, this has been most beguiling past few moons, I must say. I truly did not expect the turn my fates has taken. I suppose that speaks much to my capacity as a reader of the heavens. I am not blind to what goes on in the Foundation, so I will not claim that my life is in any way difficult. But that does not mean I do not have my share of troubles, however trivial they may be. Being anything but first in line to a countship is not all whores and rainbows. The Count only truly cares about his newly appointed heir, just like the rest of my family. They expect great things from him. From me, they expect nothing. For a long time, I tried to prove that I could be as great as my cousin. It is why I went to Charlene. It is why I've tried to do things I had no business even trying. And once I realized no one was looking, I simply stopped caring. My actions becoming more and more outlandish because at the end of the day, that is what everyone expected. Then you two walked through that door and helped me realize that maybe life is more than the coffin that has been fitted for me. Maybe the fate I believed was mine was not mine at all. For helping me see that, Pika, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Alright. We got some main story quests to do. Ugh. And here we have Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetheryte, it would be wise to do so now. As for our next destination, perhaps we should decide together what else can be found nearby. Skysteel Manufactory stands to the west, where there our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The Holy Stables, where Chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoided that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphino. Told you knows when you pass the broom, little lord, a delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. Oh, that's the mail. You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord, but a humble traveler. Ah, come to see the sights, have you? Take a turn down the hoplon and gawp at the statues. Well, if you mind to learn how the better half live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight, if your nursemaid'll let ye. My humblest apologies, Master Alphino. Pray pay that drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Pika. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, you can say what we might learn of recent events. And I'm coming too. Welp. Oh, it's up. Okay, where am I going? Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments, Master. Gibralon. Just Gibralon will do, and I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you after, you could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye. Up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars maybe, but not locals. Folks from their broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality, mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them broom, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it. While the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights, more than a few people are still sore about that mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below. Something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your word to heart, sir. Master Alphino, I think it would be best if we returned to Four Temps Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Miss Tatu, I'm afraid that is out of the question. My lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tatu? Look around, Alphino. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please, do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stone by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcomed caller I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment.
That settles it then. Tataru, Pika, I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by Link Pearl if you require assistance. I will.
Alright. Speak with Edmont in 410 Manor. Welcome, Master Gibraltar. Shall I show you inside the manor? Tell us then, Master Alphino, does this god meet with your expectations?
That which I imagined pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. When those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy.
The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Sir Emmerich has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply.
Perhaps we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness.
That is most generous, Master Alphino. You are guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let alone in. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great. If you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse.
Good, what would you ask of us?
From what I've heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Master Gibraltar, I could ask for no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a man with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid Artoriel and Amanalaine in their duties.
I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need of our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work?
Hold your tongues. By the Fury, the two of you will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your stations and show Master Gibraltar the respect he deserves. This is the man who slew Gaius Van Belsar and some half-dozen primals. Besides, he is not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand boy. If you can pardon them their impropriety, Mr. Gibraltar, I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks, Fury willing. They may even learn something from you.
'twould seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days. Though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of this opportunity to put us to work. By granting us patronage, House Fortemps has taken tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, while simultaneously keeping his sons in check. 'Tis an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me in contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard. Mayhap even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals, we shall further our own. Shall we be off then, old boy? Up there are many, but where are my manners? Madeline de Fortemps, second son of Count Edmond de Fortemps, true-born, that is. Yes, I know what you're thinking. You are absolutely right. We're ill-fortuned to be born second in a society where the eldest inherits all. Oh, my brother would never cut me off, 'tis true, but who could be satisfied subsisting on meager allowance, forever overshadowed by his siblings? Not I, old boy, not I. Which is why I need your help to ensure that this business of the Sea of Clouds goes swimmingly, so that the tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts. Or better yet, raise me higher in their estimations than artorial, ambitious, I grant you, but then I do have a legendary hero to do my bidding. Ha ha ha. Oh, don't look at me that way. I jest. Anyway, we are to aid the good men and women of House Aelinart. They have ever been steadfast friends to our house, though they've fallen on hard times since the calamity. Poor blighters. As for what precisely we'll be doing, well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along with me to the airship landing. We'll need to take an airship to Camp Cloudtop. Let us begin anew, Master Giswalter. I am Sir Artorial de Fortemps, eldest son of Count Edmond de Fortemps. Fortin, sorry. You will forgive my outburst, I hope. I mean no disrespect. I merely consider myself equal to the duties entrusted to me, unlike some. Orchefont has spoken of you often. If you are even half the many he claims, I shall be glad to have you at my side. To the matter at hand, then, we will be assisting my esteemed compatriots of Houses Durandare and Zeman. You are aware of our friendly rivalry, I take it? Aye, well, suffice to say, the prospect of assisting said houses does not fill me with joy. However, it is the will of the Holy See that we set aside our differences at this crucial juncture, but we shall speak more of that anon. First, we must needs secure transportation to Falcon's Nest. Let us make for the Chocobo Staples and Foundation. What sounds more fun? Falcon's Nest or Sea of Clouds? I'm thinking Sea of Clouds.
Are you ready to depart, sir? The airship bound for Camp Cloudtop will be leaving shortly. Ooh. This place looks fancy and a lot less snowy.
Upon an airship, conceived within the fecund mind of Sid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home. High into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds, a frontier the knights of Ishgard had scarce begun to explore. To a fledgling outpost, within the sea of clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, he came.
I was right, this place is cool. Awfully cold up here. I mean, Korthus may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, but compared to this, it seems positively balmy. And, of course, our hero is wholly unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong, silent persona all of the time, you know. Never mind, we need to find Lady Lanier. She's in charge of the garrison here. Oh, and when we find her, just follow my lead, yes? Excellent. We need to go grab this. Alright, I don't have flying here. Fuck.
Messages brought to her. Welcome. I am Sir Lene de Helena, commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloudtop. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I am in your debt, you see, and shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother Francel would have been executed upon the word of a false inquisitor. Alas, a knight must go where duty demands, and thus I have been unable to seek you out. By the grace of alone, I have been granted an opportunity to thank my brother's savior in person, and to call upon his generous aid besides. Truly, I know not what I have done to deserve this double blessing. Ahem. 'Tis a pleasure to see you again, my lady Laniette. You cut an elegant figure as always, steel-clad rose, equally at home on the battlefield or in a ballroom. Lord Amanelaine, if it is not too much to ask, I would be grateful if you would allow me to finish speaking with Master Gibraltar. Camp Cloudtop was established to provide early warning of impending Dravanian incursions. The high elevation afforded by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Naturally, it also makes us a ready target for attack. We are not defenseless, however. The Protector, our largest and most advanced airship, is capable of drowning all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repair. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an indigenous beast tribe known as the Vanu, with whom we have had several skirmishes already. No beastman is a match for a man of Ishgard. Bring me a birdman and I'll show you a thing or two. I fear much and more may be asked of you in the days to come, Master Gibraltar. Bro got it rough. She said, I don't care, I'm talking to a real man. While I understand Count Enmont's intentions, I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring that the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. True, it is entirely possible that he may learn something from this experience, but if left to his own devices, I think it far more likely that he will make a mess of things. Tell him that I would like him to keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. Then, when you have a moment to speak with his manservant in private, make it clear that it is his responsibility to keep Amanelaine from shirking his duty. She said, little boy just gonna get in the way. Tell him to stay out the way. A request from Lynette. Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yawns away. Oh, never mind. What is it? Mission? Yes, of course, that is why I'm here. I shall do as my lady asks. My name is Horneroyd, and I serve at the pleasure of Lord Amanelaine. Lady Elenia would have me accompany Lord Amanelaine on his mission. I understand completely. I will do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. Fucking flying gorilla. Were he of another house, mayhaps I would not feel obligated to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. In any case, I appreciate you speaking to him for me. It would seem he actually listens to you, at least more so than others. Or mayhaps you are more skilled at this than most. I suspect you have had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. Now that Amanelaine is out of harm's way, we are free to discuss matters of actual import, such as our struggles with the Vanu.
We first encountered the Vanu several years ago, when we had just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. After an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to construct a permanent lookout post. There was peace between our people for half a year, till suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitude toward us changed. They began to attack our foraging parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. But words are no substitute for first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Muriel, she could use your assistance. Master Gisberto, I presume? Lady Lanier told me you were coming. I hear tell you've never faced a Vanu before. We'll spend enough time on patrol, and you're sure to cross paths with them eventually. These birdmen are native to the Floating Isles. I say birdmen, but they're not at all like the Ixal, unless the Ixal's mother was a Gigas. Here, let me mark several locations on your map. If you discover any Vanu in these areas, kill or drive them away. That kinda hurt. That kinda hurt. got one more. Where do we go?
Maybe it was too much to hope for a day without a skirmish. At least I can take some solace in the fact that Helone has blessed us with a mighty ally. Expecting your recent clashes with the Vanu, I cannot have escaped your notice that things here are rather peaceful, to the detriment of our garrison's discipline. Despite being built as an observation post, we have yet to record a single intrusion by the Horde. That is why, as far as everyone is concerned, Kent Cloud Top is a backwater of no significance. And of course, the pride of our camp, the vaunted Protector, is in a perpetual state of needing repairs, so even were the Holy See to come under Dravanian attack, we would not be able to fly to their aid.
Simply put, Master Gibraltar, this is where ambition comes to die. If you haven't aspirations for advancement, you'll be right at home here. However, I would like to think that enthusiasm could be just as contagious as apathy. If you'll indulge me, I would have you seek out the sentries and stoke their fighting spirit. Psych them up, as you might say. What is it? Is it the Horde? By the Fury, whatever possessed you to do that? I'm awake, worry not. After the shock you just gave me, I doubt I'll sleep for a fortnight. Ye gods, where did that come from? Fine, if you insist, I'll make an effort to be more alert. But really, I fail to see the point. We're hundreds of miles away from the front lines, which is just the way I like it, thank you very much. Is it an attack? What should we do? What should we do? You had me fooled there for a moment, old boy. An amusing jest, albeit a tad cruel. Surely you must realize how unsuited I am to the monotony of a mere sentry duty. Yet you still tempt me with the promise of excitement. No, this won't do. This won't do at all. Lady Lanier will give me a grand mission, as befits my station. Oof. Many thanks. Already I can see the change in a sentry's behavior. Beg your pardon, Lord Emmanuel said what? Huh. Well, I have no doubt that Lady Liniette will do her utmost to oblige him. If Lord Emmanuel is going to demand a more dangerous duty, then I expect Lady Eminette will want you to accompany him. You might as well speak with her sooner rather than later. There's no use in avoiding the inevitable. Master, Lord Emmanuel has just informed me that mere sentry duty is beneath him. I understand we have you thank for this epiphany. Well, there's nothing for it but to give him something more demanding then. Can I count on you to keep him safe? Excellent. We are in constant need of fresh water in Camp Cloudtop. As there are no underground sources we can tap with wells, however, there is a unique variety of crystal we have recently discovered which may enable us to obtain water through other means. These spring crystals can be found in Vor-Sian-Siran. To the east of here, I would have you and Emmanuel bring one back to us. You may have to contend with the feral beasts which populate the lakes, not to mention Vonu scouts ranging from their nearby settlement, of course. That all pales in comparison to keeping the young lord entertained. But you have doubtless grown accustomed to that by now. Good luck and be safe. Alright, we're going to fetch some water. Lady Eleniette told you to tell me about my mission once again. If I didn't know better, I'd swear she's avoiding me. Anyway, what is it?
Finally, it's about time she entrusts me with a mission of real import. Right then, let's go, let's go. Up we go. Up we go. Ooh. Man, a whole ass floating lake. So this is the Vorsian Siran of legend. And nary a Vanu in sight. How disappointing. I could do with some sport. I know, why don't you and I make it a competition? Whoever finds the superior specimen wins. Honor Right shall judge our entries on size, purity, and, say, aesthetic sensibilities. Let us begin at once. The water crystals on appear to exhibit. Yeah, how many of these we gotta search? God damn. Ooh, we found it. Big old clams. Have you brought your entry for the contest? My understanding of such thing is limited, but can this truly be used to draw moisture from the air like water from a pump? Fascinating. Lord Emmanuel has been gone an awfully long time. Did you perchance see him while you were searching for your crystal? Even he must realize the dangers of wandering too far in such a place. We shall find him quickly if we split up. Pray search the southern area as quickly as you are able and rendezvous with me in the north. Oh. Sorry, I am yawning way too much. Ugh. Lord Emmeline has been taken by the VoD. Yeah, my lord, surrounded a whole gang of them. Please, you must come quickly. I will make haste to the Rose House and tell Lady Laniette what has happened. Yet by the time I return with aid, it may already be too late. Forgive me for asking, but should you spy an opportunity to sneak past the sentries and rescue Lord Emmanuel in my absence, I beg you take it. I know it can be a trifle presumption, insensitive, and well insufferable, but he doesn't deserve this.
Okay. Whew. That was thoroughly unpleasant. Well, Shafan, is that you? Thank heavens. Get us out of here. We did it. We led him to safety. Kind of.
Reinforcements. Anger of Honu, chief of mighty Vondo, royals like blackest storm clouds. Offer netherlings to the white. Cloud sea swells and he comes.
Oh, okay then.
The White, mighty Bismarck, Lord of the Mists! A flying whale? By the Fury, it's a primal. We must away.
Oof.
Damn! Bloody typical. All right, we're going in.
Aye, aye, Chief.
All aboard!
I also like how, like, just in the English version, every character is British. Like, using bloody as an exclamative is a very British, not American thing. Like, not a generalized English thing, that's just a British English. Ooh. God's only know what might have happened had we not been around to save you. No need for thanks, though. It's not as if you haven't done the same for us on a few previous occasions. Alright, more than a few. 'Twas but blind chance that brought us together this time. In case you were wondering, the Holy See has petitioned the Ironworks for assistance with this creation of theirs, the Protector. Apparently they just can't seem to get her flying. Anyway, I came to Camp Cloudtop to cast an eye over the ship, only to learn that you had arrived some few days before with an Ishgardian lordling in tow. Small world, I thought, just as it said lordling's manservant skittered into view, babbling about his master having been captured and you risking all to rescue him, and the rest, as they say, is history. Right, well, I hate to cut short our reunion, but I'm here on business after all, and the boys are already hard at work. Don't worry, old friend, we'll speak again soon, I promise. Very well, admit it. It was an incredibly harrowing experience. I could very well have died, you know. Me. Dead. On the other hand, by risking life and limb in the line of duty, I did succeed in uncovering the existence of a new primal. And that, old boy, is no small feat. I've made an historic discovery. A fact even Lady Laniate will have no choice but to acknowledge. Yes, I'm rather looking forward to basking in the sunshine of her praise. Speaking of which, isn't it time we made our triumphant return?
Praise alone, I feared the worst. What happened out there? A primal? Are you sure? Yet now that I think on it, this Bismarck is reminiscent of the white whale of Vanu legend. Massive creatures said to swim in the sea of clouds. From what I have learned of comparable summonings, the presence of the Vanu's god would certainly explain the sudden change in their behavior toward the people of Camp Cloudtop.
Ah, you mean to say that they have fallen under the Primal's influence? I recall reading of such things in the documents provided by Master Alphino.
Are we forgetting something so important, Lady Laniet? A little recognition for the hero of the hour, a few choice expressions of gratitude, respect, admiration, and so on.
Ah yes, you are right, of course. Master Gibraltar deserves all that and more for having risked his life to rescue such an esteemed personage.
Well, if there's naught else to discuss, I would rather depart for Ishgard forthwith. The Holy See and the Temple Knights must be informed of this new threat without delay.
But of course, Master Gibraltar, you have done more than enough here. Pray return to Ishgard with Lord Horshaphant and give my warmest regards to the Count. So that's it then. No more forays in enemy territory. Very well, I can see my services are no longer needed. Take care, Lady Laniet. May our next meeting take place under more felicitous circumstances.
All's well that ends well, eh? To the airship landing, then. We can speak on the journey home. I confess I've always been rather fond of airship travel. The chill of the wind upon your face, the warmth of the blood pumping in your veins from the excitement. I find the whole experience indescribably invigorating. Or mayhaps it is simply the joy of having cheated death yet again. In any event, I must make for the congregation and inform Sir Emmerich of all that has occurred. Menelaine should have returned to the manor by now. Why not go and see if he has recovered from his ordeal?
Oh, it's you. Gods, did he have to strike me so hard? Father, he did not approve how I handled matters in Camp Cloudtop, how I endangered the lives of others through my own recklessness and competence. It's not easy playing the hero, is it? Welp.
Oh, gods. I think I'm gonna wind down here. A little over 2 hours, we made some story progress. Discovered a new primal. The fucking flying whale. Oh. That's the spot. I don't know, I'm tired. Yeah, no. Till next time, we will see when next time will be. I want to play this at least once a week. But till next time, I will see you later, crew. Bye-bye!